G'day guys, I'm Dan from Aussie Arvos and this is my shed. So I guess first and foremost, we've got the big Tool Armour Ultimate Workshop. This thing is pretty hard to miss when you open the door. I guess you'd call this the heart of the workshop. It was one of the first things I moved into the shed, and obviously I base anything I'm working on out of here. So starting off in the hutch in the middle of the toolbox, I wanted to keep the bench space nice and clear. It obviously always does get busy when you're working on your cars. So I've got everything up the top. The shelf's got all the batteries in their brackets. I 3D printed some holders for the PT18 range. So I got all those hanging there. Super easy to get at everything. Super easy to put it back so it all stays neat. Then I've got the wireless chargers. They're just stuck because they're magnetic to the back wall. Again, torches on charge. If they're hard to charge, you won't charge them. So put everything back there. Can also charge phones and all that sort of stuff in there. So it keeps it neat, keeps it easy. And then up in the top cabinet, I've got all my blow mold cases with all the automotive tools and that sort of stuff in there. The other one's full of the same things. It's one of those things, you get this giant toolbox and you think, there's no way I'm ever gonna fill that. But as you can see, I've done a pretty good job of it pretty quickly. And then in the side locker, in this side, we've got a bit of automotive specialty stuff. So obviously you never have too many cable ties. So a bunch of cable ties in the top, drill bits, drivers, all specialty pliers, and then balancer pullers and gear pullers and all that. And then down the bottom, we've got big spanners, all sorts of, hex drives, all the specialty sort of automotive stuff. And then the center cabinet itself is probably the only thing I haven't really had to do much work setting up. It all came from factory, already pre-cut out. Everything's in EVA trays, so you know where everything goes, keeps it all super neat. And of course, it is loaded with tools. This thing is amazing. You're never looking for anything. Speaking of looking for anything, Soph, my partner, printed some labels for everything. So I know where everything is, but also I think it's handy. Like Kyle comes here today and it's like, yeah mate, grab me a spanner. Spanners. It's not looking through every drawer trying to find it. I have just set this out so everything's sort of convenient, like ratchet spanners are next to normal spanners, but yeah, super handy having it all labeled, you know where everything is. And then the bottom two drawers come empty, so they don't have EVA trays in them. So again, in there, just heaps more specialty, I suppose, automotive stuff. There's multimeters and like ball joint separators and all sorts of stuff in there. And then this one's all just loose sockets. There's heaps more sockets in there. I tend to not throw out as many sockets as I probably should. Old ones, cut them, weld them, you know, bend spanners, all that sort of stuff. So all the homemade sockets and all that are in the bottom drawer there. So that pretty much wraps up everything that is in the big Tool Armour box. Let's go check out the Fab Bay. So this is where we do all the welding, cutting, painting, grinding, any sort of fabrication stuff that's gonna make just general metal mess and dust that you don't want out there when you're working on your car. So it's set up like a bit of a production line in here. I've got the big cold cut saw. As soon as you come in here, there is another door there so you can bring lengths of steel straight in. Cut your steel straight across the rollers. Pedestal drill. I've got the KINCROME racking set up at the back here, so any sort of offcuts, obviously, that's pretty busy already. We can stack up there out of the way. Bench grinder mounted down the back, linisher on the wall to keep it out of the way. And then we've got our little welding table here, which I can wheel around, put wherever we want. And then, of course, right next to the door, I've got my granddad's old blacksmith vise. Mate, that thing is gonna outlive me. So next up, let's check out what's on the other side of that wall, because I've got all this set up for storage. So this little storage room is set up for everything that I don't want in the main workshop. And I always found that you always pile things up around where you're working and you never have room to actually work on your car or whatever it is you might be working on. So this has been awesome to get everything out in its own little separate room. Now this is what I'd call a little bit messy at the moment, but believe me, it does get worse. We've got all the industrial racking around the walls to keep everything stashed and tidy. You can never have too much shelving, and I try and minimize what's on the floor. So getting it up off the floor on the racking where everything's super easy to see and therefore easy to get at. So moving out of the storage room, we've got another set of industrial racking, and this is where I keep all my consumables and everything that you're gonna need to use most commonly in the workshop. So we've got sealants, grease, paints, fuels, oils, and all that sort of stuff, like I said, that you're just gonna use all the time. You want it close, you wanna be able to see everything, see what you've got. So I've got it all set up and arranged semi-neatly, or as neat as I can get it, so that I know what I've got and you're not buying things twice. So that covers nearly everything in the shed. You may have noticed as we walk past, I have got two of the workbenches set up there. This one doubles as a little bit of a bar, somewhere to hang out, obviously right next to the fridge. We've got the bar stools there, so nice little area. When the benches aren't covered in car parts, it is just a nice spot to hang out. But they are super handy, solid benches. I use them for assembling parts on. If you were here yesterday, both those benches were covered in patrol front end parts. It happens. Anyway, we've got it all cleaned up, as you can see. Now, moving out of this shed, there is something I want to show you guys in the front garage that I think you might be interested in. So this front garage isn't obviously set up as a workshop like the shed is, but the thing I wanted to show you is the rooftop tent lifter. This thing has probably been one of the best things I've built in this house. So we've got two KINCROME 240 volt hoists that I've mounted up in the roof. You may have seen us build this on the channel, but it's all set up to be super easy. I can back the patrol under, drop the rooftop tent on, really nice and easy to control, easy to line everything up, bolt it on, go away for the weekend, and when you come back and I want to get the patrol back in the shed, simple as undo the brackets, hook the lifting bars up and lift it back up, and then it's just stored up there with safety chains so it can't fall. Everything's super nice and out the way. Now that's been a big thing because of the height of the back garage door, I couldn't actually get the patrol into the back shed without that. So super handy, easy to use, lift the rooftop tent, then we can get back into the workshop. Speaking of back into the workshop, that's where all the action happens, so let's get back in there. Well, that pretty much wraps up everything we've got going on here in the workshop. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Maybe you even got a few ideas for your own workshop setup. If there is anything you guys saw, ideas or things you think I could improve upon, let us know. I'm always keen to get new ideas, new things happening in the shed. It is, as these things always are, an ongoing project. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you in the next one.